What's up, guys? This is Tezzy from Tezzy's Top Picks. I'm doing a post-fight video, and I didn't do a prediction video for this, but I'm doing a post-fight video for this fucking insane event, this card of UFC 229, headlined by Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor. And I just want to give you my initial takeaway of what I felt from this fight. I'm going to talk about the antics towards the end of this video, about what happened at the end of the fight. That'll be towards the end of this video, but like initially what happened in the fight, my goodness, man, what a contest. It was great. It was very good. My initial thoughts on it, I thought Khabib did, well, he did better than I thought he would do. I had him winning, but I didn't have him winning in the fashion that he actually won the fight. In the sense I say that because what ended up happening is in the striking zone, Conor did strike very well, but not his typical self. But Khabib ended up landing the more significant strikes, especially that one overhand right where it just it put Conor on his ass for a second. I did not see that coming at all. I knew that if Khabib was able to initially just put him up against the cage in the first round, gas him out, let his arms just fill up and stiffen up, he would not be as crisp, and the fight went exactly how it did. I did see a stoppage. I didn't see it that late. I thought it would be towards the end of the second or early third. Good fucking fight, though, to be honest with you. I will say Conor did not look like his natural self. I'm a fan of both of these guys, more so Khabib, but Conor did not look like himself. One thing I want to say is that, especially with the build-up of this fight, this is something naturally that happens all the time when it comes to Khabib, is that people always start to switch on him towards the end, you know? Just because of that fucking Michael Johnson shit, like him getting caught on his feet, just getting caught with the few really good combos that he took. They're like, hey man, you start to see all these analysts say, you know what I mean, oh, if Johnson can do that, then what is Conor going to do? And don't get me wrong, I had that doubt in the back of my head too, but I did not forget who Khabib was when it comes to this fighting, this absolute dominance in the cage, why he's 26-0, 27 now. Honestly, this was the card that was worth your money. I'll just be honest with that. Like, that is something that if you bought that card, you got your money's worth. What else can I say about the fight itself? Conor, he looked, especially when he was doing his Conor strut, it looked forced. It didn't look natural like it was with Eddie Alvarez. But goddamn, man, good fucking fight, right? I had a great time watching it. One more thing I want to say about the fight initially is that everybody's saying, yo, Conor had amazing defense in the first round when Khabib went for the shot. He absolutely did, but that's Conor. He will do everything amazing in the first couple rounds. And for me, it was all about what's going to happen as the fight progressed, and it was exactly what I thought it was. A neck crank is not what I saw. I thought it would have been a ground and pound stoppage. You know, the fans won this fight. They really did. Moving on to the shit, the fucking garbage that happened afterwards. So from, like, I didn't want to make this video right away because I really wanted to see. I didn't want to be one of those guys who just made something without knowing all the information. And as the information is coming out, seeing more and more evident that this shit is bound to happen. I don't understand why everybody's tripping. The whole build-up, is this not what McGregor does? Is this not who he is? Selling fights. Doesn't matter what he has to do. His whole ideal of Conor McGregor, speaking his ideal, is he wants to be like Muhammad Ali, right? Especially with his talking, his flamboyance, his outspokenness, and then that beautiful flow inside the ring, which he has. But he went too far. And the thing is, when he went too far, he was not criticized about it as much as he should be. He probably got a little bit of criticism. I mean, you keep picking at the beehive, what's going to happen is the bees are going to come out. Listen, I'm telling you this as a Muslim myself. Although I don't exactly agree with all the complete ideals about when people say, you know, you can't say anything about the religion, you can't do anything like this. No. It's just, that's bullshit. You know, as humans, we're allowed to criticize anything, any faith, anything, as long as it is respectful, to question things. Conor went too far. Conor went much too far, and he did not understand. And like, for those of you who have never met, like, you probably have Muslim friends, but have you ever had a Muslim friend who lives by the ideals of Islam, which is absolutely, that is their life, because Islam is a way of life more than a religion. It's a way of life. Khabib lives that life, you know. That's all he knows. Conor, after that fight, what is he gonna do? He's gonna roll around in his millions and millions of dollars, drink whiskey, go on this. It's different with Khabib. He lives that crazy little humble lifestyle because it's not his life that he's living. It's his father's life that it passed down to him, and as his kid will live for him. So it went beyond just shit talking about, like, Dagestan, you rat, all this shit, you know, fuck you, you Muslim terrorist, all that stuff. It was just uncalled for would be one thing, but it was absolutely, it was encouraged in a way by the media, because what does Conor do? He sells fights, and he sold the fuck out of that fight too. I saw a lot of the pre-fight hype talking, like, and everybody started saying, you know, I'm not, like, so many analysts that I respect started switching on Khabib through everything that they've seen in Khabib, started switching on him, saying, you know what, man, Conor's in his head, Conor's this, that. Of course Conor's in his head. Are you kidding me? Of course he's in his head. But it's like, what is the limit? What is the limit to be in someone's head? Can you talk about somebody's daughter who died? Can you talk about somebody whose relative has cancer? Is that getting someone's head? Where's the limit to this bullshit? It's everybody's fault to like really fall into that, including myself. I fucking loved his antics up until this, when he got so fucking personal, where I started to see this is just a recipe for disaster. And, you know, the stuff that happened after the fight, I wanted to see exactly what happened, because initially when I was watching the fight, I did see some stuff go down. Initially I thought, I was like, what the fuck is Khabib doing? I understood what he was doing, but I was like, I didn't understand the full context of it. Now, as more information is coming out, I can tell. So from what I've heard is from credible sources on the internet. Well, I like to think credible sources. Who knows, maybe I'm wrong too. But after Khabib got the neck crank tap out, he was full of rage with everything. Adrenaline's pumping. Your adrenaline is pumping. Thousands of fans. All that shit talking. Weeks and weeks and weeks of shit talking. He got up, he looked to Conor's corner, and then from what I know is that Dylan Dennis, Conor's jiu-jitsu partner, one of the best in the world, started calling him, hey, a fucking Muslim rat. That's why he jumped out of the cage. This is from what I hear. Aside from the point, even if he didn't say that, even if he said, fuck you, after all that shit talk, I don't know if any one of you guys had anybody talk shit to you, talk shit about your family. God damn, that is just off limits. Just family off limits. Forget about if you're a practicing Muslim, Jew, Catholic, doesn't matter. Somebody talk shit about your family, especially from where he comes from. You're not gonna give him you're not gonna be able to see you're not gonna feel any form of empathy for that. I understand. That's fine. After that, what I ended up seeing was Conor was leaving the cage to get into that scruff, or at least to just get there. And then one of Khabib's, I believe it was his cousin or his brother, was also trying to get up there, and Conor threw him a nice little sting on the face. It's fucking crazy though. I saw the video like of the aftermath of Khabib's cousin. He put a video on Instagram. He got this big fucking mouse on his face. Just from a little man, you got that touch of death, I'm telling you. But so inside the ring, it was absolutely antagonized by Conor McGregor. There's no fucking denying that. There's video of it. However, what ended up happening afterwards, I believe it was Zabera. It's who was supposed to fight Artem Lobov. Artem Lobov at the end of the year, who's gonna be scrapped for now. He initially went up to his cousin first, and then went up to Conor and tried to scrap him out. And then they actually threw punches towards each other. After that, another member of Khabib's team jumped the punch and fucking sucker punched him a couple times. It's a bitch move, but hey, man, I don't know if you've ever been in a brawl before. You don't really think about that shit. I'm not justifying anything like that, but this is exactly, if people are gonna talk this much shit and you talk it to the wrong people, that's what happens. How often do you see Khabib lose his shit like that? No, he's just the guy who says, this is number one bullshit. Number one, very calm, collected. Hey man, I'm gonna smash your guy, Dana, let me know. He's that very fucking calm, collected guy because that's how he was raised. And this was, people say this was bad for the sport. This is just human nature. This was human nature. Combat fighting on its own is just it's just something that you can't describe unless you've been in a one-on-one fight where you know no one's jumping in. It's just you versus the other person. So taken away from it, man, fuck, hell of a card. Every one of those fights on that main card was amazing. There's a couple on the undercard that were great too. I just want to say, man, like what is the limit? Where is the limit that talking shit and going too far, who draws that line? It's just that whole fucking free speech versus, like, where does free speech end? What can I say about you before you're justified to blast me in the face? Anyways, man, I'm going off a little bit. I just want to say, hell of a fucking card. I love both these fighters. I'm a huge Khabib fan, and I'm a huge McGregor fan too. Both skilled fighters, amazing card. People want to say, oh, it was a fucking bad thing on MMA. Man, this is what fighting is, especially if you're gonna talk all that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna justify anything. Yo, is jumping into the cage and Conor getting sucker punched worse than a dolly going through a window? No. Conor jumping up into a cage, punching a ref in the face, is that worse than Khabib jumping into the crowd? No, it doesn't fucking matter, man. It doesn't matter. These guys are fighters. This is what they do. And, you know, sometimes people, we just gotta understand what the limit is, because a person like Nate Diaz is gonna take that shit and his boys might jump you afterwards, but Khabib lives that life, man. Who knows what he's been through? You seen that video of, like, send me location, come, I'm coming, and you look into his eyes, you're like, fuck, this motherfucker's killed people. You know he's killed people, or seen him die at least. I don't know. Ranting. Anyways, thanks a lot for checking in, guys. Who knows what the fuck will happen afterwards. I know y'all enjoyed that. Like, subscribe. If not, leave a comment about how much you hated this. Thanks so much. Tezzy's out.